he has given him this. So I think let's have a wonderful year. And what can I talk about Punit? When it comes to, मैं तो हमेशा कुछ टैली की बात आई तो मुझे सिर्फ पुनीत.
What happened?
He must have disconnected, I think. Why?
No
problem.
Let him.
Puneet, I think let's go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. And just tell them that it's live on YouTube also now.
Yes.
Anybody? Yeah,
it's live on YouTube.
Live on YouTube. We are live on YouTube also now. Okay.
1 second.
So disconnected, I think. Okay, I think let's go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
Just tell them that it's live on YouTube also.
Punit bhai, just share the link in chat box, please.
Yeah, 1 second. I'll share it. Is my PPT visible?
Yes, sir. It is.
Yeah. Here I'll do it in 1 second. By the time I'll just start the presentation. Okay. So the topic for the day is ease of e-invoice in TallyPrime, and this, as we have mentioned, that this we are doing it in association with Lions Club of Alkeshwar, along with Foundation for Skills Development, right? So let me start this particular webinar with a small question, and would like all of you to answer this on the chat box. Okay, is e-invoicing an expense for the businesses, or is it helpful for earning profit? So please put your views on this particular thing, that what you think, each one of you, right? Is e-invoicing an expense or is it helpful for earning profit? Would request all of you to put it on the chat box, that what in your view is the answer. Helpful in earning profit, Beena says. Monica say helpful. Priyanshu says expense. Vinesh bhai says expense. Oh my goodness. Many of you are saying it will be useful and helpful. Oh my goodness. Hiral bhai, such is the confidence of our Indian economy. You bring in a compliance. And see, people are looking at it in a positive way. We have not even started. Okay. We have not even started, and 10 crores and above, and people are looking forward for it, how we can earn profit out of this particular, compliance. My thought was that majority of the people would be saying that, nahi yaar, it's a compliance burden. But to my surprise, most of us are saying, no, it is not a compliance burden. It may be helpful for earning profit. So thank you all for answering this, and let me start. Some of the misconceptions about e-invoice. there are some myths, and I would like to take you to the reality. Okay, so firstly, the first myth that people have is that would need to issue invoices only through GST portal. नहीं, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. आपको खाली GST portal से जाना है. You can continue your old way. Only ensure that your IRN is generated. I will give you all the details of what is IRN and what are the other things. So ये हम आपको information देंगे, but issued through the billing and accounting software. Okay, ये आपका no need to go to GST portal for issuing the invoice. Is e-invoice needed for all the transaction? No, it's mandatory to be issued only for B2B transaction and exports. It would increase the GST compliance. बहुत लोग आए थे उस दिन भी, परसों हमारे लायंस क्लब की मीटिंग में हमको बताया यार कितना compliance बढ़ जाएगा. Okay, but actually it is not. It will reduce the compliance because it will auto-generate e-way bill. It will auto-generate the Annexure 1 and Annexure 2 which is required, and GSTR 2 का reconciliation easy हो जाएगा. Okay. And one more myth is that IRN number is the invoice number. Okay. But actually it is just a reference number. What is this reference number और क्या है? ये मैं आपको आगे जाके I will be discussing more on that. Okay. So before we start, I just thought, okay, let me, if I am having multiple businesses, then do I have to have separate invoice formats for each of the invoices? No, the same format for all the businesses should work. So, friends, this is what the basic myth and reality which I thought let me share with all the members before we start. Okay, and there may be some other misconception which I might not have covered. Would be happy to answer as and when we get it. ये एक आंकड़ा देखिए आप, the trends in GST collection, how the government has acquired in the month of April 167. It is an exception month because March का पूरा collection आता है, but 140 crores, 1,40,000 crores, 1,44, 1,48. Hiral bhai, August, what do you think? August 22?
Even higher record, sir.
Right. Would definitely cross 150 or maybe 155. And by the end of October, okay, because of e-invoicing, it should go more than 170 or 180. Okay. So the government is bound. It is looking at that. Yes, definitely it is a good thing which is happening in terms of their tax collection. Okay. ये मैं आपको government का picture दिखा रहा हूँ. Let me just show a brief about what is happening in the international arena. Okay. So Brazil has seen a huge jump of USD 58 billion. Okay. Mexico and Chile reduced the VAT gap, and the same way in India also, because multiple acts बंद करके GST लाया था. So they've been in India also as well as in these foreign countries. Okay. In Colombia, they have actually saw that there is a tax evasion was reduced by 50%. Okay. So if you see the world over, this is catching up. It is not just India. Okay. By 2025, in just 2 years, 80% of the organization will be either forced, as said by Alok Bhai, that all of us, it would be applicable. Okay. It would not be just ke nahi 500 crores, 100 crores, 20 crores, 10 crores, 5 crores. Nahi. It may be involved with all of us. Okay. So that's why the knowledge partner of Foundation for Skill Development is important. हर एक को applicable होने वाला है, और जब वो हर एक को applicable होएगा तो आपको इतने resources लगेंगे, and that is the forward thinking that the organizations are doing to enable the today's youth. जब इतना huge case में requirement है तो why not start today? So I will give you breakup of industry country wise how this has been implemented. Okay. Today's topic: embrace TallyPrime for e-invoicing. Why? Because I believe in these three small word acronym. Okay. The acronym goes like: it is easy to use, simple to implement, and plenty of support available. Plenty of support available is what I think is these three small reasons are good enough for the businesses to adopt e-invoice. Okay, as and when we go, we will check whether the parameters that we are setting up are actually helpful and are there with these working or not. Whether it is simple to implement, whether there is how you can have plenty of support available, not just from Team AIMTech who has organized, helped to organize today's program, but the other partners also. Okay. In my view, why e-invoicing? Devanshi did take up this particular topic, that why e-invoicing would help in curbing tax evasion, because manipulation would be less scope. Okay, when you are informing the government immediately, there is less chance of manipulation. Fake GST invoices, paper invoices, what Devanshi mentioned, that is a big problem, and that will reduce very much drastically once you are generating your e-invoices. Okay, the input credit can be matched with output tax details immediately. The moment आपने आज upload किया, within 2 days, मतलब आपको महीना रुकने की भी जरूरत नहीं है, within 2 days आपको ये आपके पोर्टल पे दिख जाएगा कि भाई मेरे को इस we have to what kind of GSTR, आपके GSTR 2 में दिख जाएगा. If you have purchased from an e-invoice person, within 2 days in GSTR 2A you will find that आपका input credit vendor आपके vendor ने upload किया है कि नहीं किया है. Okay. Tax authorities initially, when the information is on IRP, at later point would be able to access the transaction on real time basis. They've got a QR code, scan करेंगे immediately, confirm कर लेंगे कि yes, this transaction has been uploaded. So tax authorities के लिए भी अच्छा है ये. Okay. So in short, this will help in reducing the cost, reconciliation, time saving with accuracy, better relationship with vendors, better relationship with government, and better capital management. Okay. Of course, paper elimination would be there definitely, because digital invoices being would be moving. So paper elimination would also be there. Okay. अगर e-invoice नहीं बनाया तो क्या? What are the consequences? चलो ठीक है, गवर्नमेंट बोल रहा है 10 crores and above 1st October से applicable है, and 20 crores and above was applicable from 1st April. So what if the e-invoice is not generated? There are two situations. Either the e-invoice is not generated, you are supposed to generate e-invoice as per the law, and you have not generated. One. Second is that yes, you have generated, but you have not generated in a proper manner. Okay. So what is the consequence? So please understand that consequence भी पता लगना बहुत जरूरी है. Would request Hiral bhai if he can share some of his legal knowledge, that what would be the assessee facing if he is not prepared the e-invoice, or he is prepared erroneously. Hiral bhai?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So it is just as each of us said, it is helpful. But yes, whatever is helpful comes with a caveat stating that if there is a problem, you are also in a problem. So better upgrade your skills, polish your skills, and take guidance of expert faculties like the one we have today, and prepare an invoice in a proper manner. Like failure, so there are problems, there can be possible errors in under generation of e-invoice, but again, whatever is the problem, you have to face the music, you have to face the penalties for non-compliance thereof. So non-generation of IRN number, which we would come down to in some time. So if the IRN is not generated, it is considered as a failure of issuance of invoice. And if an invoice is not registered on the IRP, then such invoice would be treated as an invalid tax invoice if it is not registered for all GST related matters, and therefore it would attract a penalty of 10,000 rupees for each instance of non-compliance. So one would say कि अरे ठीक है e-invoice नहीं बनाया तो ठीक है क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? No, but the problem is that if you are issuing 10 invoices in a day, you are sitting on a penalty of 1,00,000 rupees, minimum penalty, and it is a flat penalty, 10,000 rupees per instance. If somebody is thinking thousands and lakhs and crores of invoices are made, आज नहीं पकड़े गए तो क्या पकड़े जाएंगे? No, government will come up to you at some later point of time also, because it is artificial intelligence which is working and it can create a problem. Initiating the transportation of goods without a valid tax invoice, not containing a proper IRN, may cause detention of goods and vehicles and imposition of standard penalty. So basically, if the invoice, the tax invoice is not there, means e-invoice is not there, it is considered as tax invoice is only not there, and all the penalties, all the problems for non-creation of tax invoice would be initiated, and even the goods when they are in transit, in transport, it will be considered as you don't have a proper tax invoice, and the goods are liable to detention and all the various consequences of 100% penalty and stuff. Customers can refuse to accept the goods or make payments in the absence of valid e-tax invoice, as it clearly impacts the recipient's eligibility to avail the input tax credit. The government has plans to implement a check which would restrict the generation of e-way bill in the absence of an e-invoice. So as per Rule 48, Sub-Rule 5 of the CGST Act 2017, so there are basically two penalties. One is penalty for non-issuance of tax invoice, that is 100% of tax due, or 10,000 rupees, whichever is higher. So 10,000 is the minimum that you are sitting upon. Penalty for incorrect or erroneous e-invoice is 25,000. So you can avoid the second portion at least by just following the simple steps that Punit Bhai would be showing us. Apart from that, e-invoices cannot be amended once the IRN is generated. So you can only cancel the erroneous tax in e-invoice. E-invoice and IRN once generated can only be cancelled within 24 hours from the time of generation. If you exceed this limit, you will be able to nullify the e-invoice by generating a credit note against the invoice, nothing else. So that's about the legal aspects. Over to you, Punit Bhai.
Thank you, Hiral Bhai. So just in a nutshell, what I understand, so input tax credit would not be available, 100% of tax amount or 10,000. Thank you for informing that it is 25,000 also for that erroneous. So for each instance 10,000, which I could note it, but I did not note that 25,000. So thank you for informing that as well, and the other consequences that you mentioned. Yeah. So I think by looking at this, some of you would like कि जो आपने initially बोला था it is for profit. Now maybe you will have to change, or you would like to change the opinion कि it is going to increase the cost. Is it? Anyways, coming back to our e-invoicing concept, documents which are covered under e-invoicing invoices covered by the supplier, credit notes, debit notes, okay, any other documents as notified under the GST law. Okay, these are the invoices that are covered under E-Invoice. Okay, who can generate an E-Invoice? It can only be generated by suppliers. Okay, so the recipient who are liable to pay under RCM are cannot generate E-Invoice. Okay, as well as the recipient and transporters cannot generate E-Invoice, because they also sometimes generate invoice, but they cannot generate the E-Invoice. It can only be generated the one who is transporting the goods or one who is selling, okay, the services. So it can only be generated by them. Okay, so let me start with the E-Invoice basics. Friends, this particular crowd that we have today is a mix of students, is a mix of businessmen, is a mix of accountants. So I'll have to see that how I can satisfy all the three of you in different categories of the people. But let's see. So applicable for turnover more than 10 crores from 1st October, as mentioned by Alok Bhai, and it is currently applicable for those who are having 20 crores. Now, friends, 10 crores means any of the 10 crores after first in any of the year, turnover in any of the year after 2017-18. अगर आपका GST era में, if your turnover has increased in any of the year 10 crores and above, okay, in the last year you might have done only 2 crores, but a year before that you might have done 11 crores. Then E-Invoice is applicable. Okay, so turnover का criteria है. What is required is reporting on IRP portal. I will come to you shortly. What do you mean by IRP? Okay, IRN, that is invoice reference number, is 64-digit uniquely generated number. And why it is unique, I will give you a brief breakup as to what is this 64-digit consist of. QR code, which is validated, जैसे हिरल भाई ने बोला कि ट्रांसपोर्टर, जब गुड्स ट्रांसपोर्ट हो रहे हैं, authorities can stop the goods and check the invoice, whether the invoice has a QR code or not. And with just simple E-Invoice scanner के through, वो आप E-Invoice का ऐप है, वहां पे स्कैन करके they can ensure that when they scan that QR code, they will ensure that whether the E-Invoice is validly generated or not. Okay. And as rightly mentioned by Hiral Bhai, again, that amendments is not allowed. Okay. So this is where it is very critical कि आप जब भी करो एक ही बार काम करो and do it in a correct manner. Okay. So let's come to the basics. What is IRP? It is a portal. Invoice registration portal is the website for uploading and reporting of invoices by the notified person. Okay. So ये आपके notified persons के लिए ही है. It is a GST portal only. Okay. What is IRN? I am not taking in detail, but एक brief बता रहा हूँ. Whatever the important concepts are. E-Invoice as such can take 4 to 6 hours, but अपने को ये 1 से 1.5 घंटे में खत्म करना है. So we'll just see brief of. If anyone feels that I have not covered it, they can put it in the chat box, and I can be informed. And if possible, I'll take it up right there itself or at the end. Okay. So IRN is hash of. Hash means it's a combine of supplier GSTN, financial year, document type, and document number. So it's a mix of which is going to be unique. आपका GSTN number किसी दूसरे का नहीं हो सकता है. आपका year जो है वो खैर दूसरे का हो सकता है, but the way in which you mention it, the invoice number, ये combination और किसी का नहीं हो सकता है. So government ने बहुत सोच समझ के 64 digit unique number generate किया है. Okay. So this is what is very important. Understand how this IRN is generated. Okay. Let me take the compulsory fields. Now, this is what the compulsory fields on the right side. If you see this is on the left side. If you see, this is an invoice format, a typical invoice format, which will show QR code on the top, IRN number on the left hand side. Okay. And the details of the invoices. तो जो पोर्टल पे इंफॉर्मेशन जाता है इन द JSON फाइल, इंटरनली टैली से जब सर्कुलेट होता है तो वो क्या क्या इंफॉर्मेशन जाता है. ओके, सेलर डिटेल्स, बायर डिटेल्स, कंसाइनी डिटेल्स, dispatch from details, invoice details, export and e-way bill details. Okay, these are the few details which goes in the JSON file. Internally जो file transfer होती है from your folder or from your machine to the government machine GSTN, वो ये सारी compulsory information जाती है. Okay, nothing other than these 8 information. These 8 informations are the backbone of the way in which your IRN number is generated. These 8 information is transported on the IRP portal. Okay, and that is why it is very much important that आपका pin code correct हो. Most of the buyers, what we see, pin code ही गलत डालते हैं, और pin code सही भी डाला है तो क्या डालते हैं 400 space 004. अब ये space जो है ना, this is creating a problem. Okay, so you have to have proper. At the end of the session, if time permits, I will show you a small do's and don'ts as well. Okay, so e-invoice details, these are the compulsory details which goes. As mentioned earlier, B2C invoices are not required to be reported. Okay, now small questions, but I need participation. I love participation and I love when people interact. Okay, so let me ask any, please answer this question. Is there any fixed position of QR code on invoice? QR code, हमने देखा अभी एक एग्जांपल में राइट साइड में ऊपर आया था. Is it mandated by the government? Yes, no, please put it in the chat. Jyoti, Anand, Pandurang, Bhima, Matin says no, rest all of them says yes. Hiral bhai, you are very right. Friends, it is no fixed place. While QR code is important, but उसकी position fix नहीं है. क्या importance है कि QR code invoice में print होना चाहिए. नीचे चाहिए नीचे, right side में चाहिए right side में, left side में चाहिए left side में. The user, the government official या फिर आपका customer should be able to scan the QR code. Okay, अगर आपका QR code बहुत छोटा है और वो scannable नहीं है, so that is invalid QR code. So please ensure that you are printing QR code in a proper height and width, but definitely ये आना चाहिए. Okay, so it can be printed anywhere. IRN number कंपलसरी है प्रिंट करना इनवॉइस में. हमने देखा राइट साइड में लेफ्ट साइड में टॉप पे. इज इट कंपलसरी? Mateen says yes, Narayan says yes, Devendra bhai says yes, Hiral bhai also says yes, Hital yes, Akanksha, Alok bhai says yes. Thank you all. As per my knowledge, it isn't. IRN number is optional. It is already there in the QR code. QR code is compulsory, friends. IRN number जो स्कैन करते हैं ना आपको QR code, तब उसके अंदर IRN number आ गया है. बट आपको जो 64 डिजिट लेफ्ट साइड में देखा आपने टॉप पे, वो प्रिंट करना कंपलसरी नहीं है. ओके, एज फार एज माय नॉलेज और माय अंडरस्टैंडिंग इज देयर, इट इज नॉट कंपलसरी. ओके, मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ 1000 लाइन आइटम्स. आई एम येट टू सी अ बिजनेस हु इज वांटिंग मोर देन दिस नंबर ऑफ आइटम्स इन वन इनवॉइस. बट अगर किसी को मिल जाए तो बताइए. मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ लाइन आइटम्स व्हिच कैन बी रिपोर्टेड इन इनवॉइस, करंटली इट इज 1000 and I think it is quite good. But अगर किसी के पास हो वैसा कस्टमर या कोई हो तो बताइए. Okay, now we start with the preparedness of e-invoice. क्या करना क्या है, टैक्स पेयर को क्या करना है. So taxpayer will receive the communication from the department as informed. 5 करोड़ के ऊपर शायद 1 जनवरी से है, 10 करोड़ से ऊपर 1 अक्टूबर से. That communication has already been received. Okay, taxpayer can log in to the IRP portal, complete the registration process. Okay, basic details है. if time permits, I will show you what is that registration process. Okay, ये किस तरह से करना है. Select that preferred GSP, and in this case, when you are working with TallyPrime, Tally India Private Limited is the GSP you will have to select. Okay, and that's it. Start generating E-Invoice. Okay, ये इतना simple है आप लोगों को start करने के लिए. Okay, start generating E-Invoice from the date of applicability, that is from 1st October. I have taken it in a brief way earlier. B2B invoices which are to be reported on the invoice system, reverse charge invoices, okay, outward supplies only, not those which are purchased, debit notes and credit notes. Here also I will put up an exception that in case your debit notes are financial, pure financial debit notes, not because payment is received late, but आपने लोन दिया है, लोन रिसीव किया है, उसके डेबिट नोट्स है, उसके क्रेडिट नोट्स है, those will not be reported on the GST portal. But yes, otherwise अगर आपके बिलिंग से रिलेटेड है, whatever transactions that you are doing B2B arena में, you will have to report it on the E-Invoice system. Okay, so this is the basics. So many people ask this, E-Invoice, if two different GSTN under same PAN, ये कैसे हो सकता है अगर हिरल भाई की ऑफिस एक गुजरात में भी है और एक बॉम्बे में भी है, एंड दोनों का मिला के द पैन टर्नओवर इज मोर देन 10 करोड़, आई थिंक दोनों को E-Invoice एप्लीकेबल होगा. Okay, modes of generating E-Invoices. Currently these are the modes दिया हुआ है, ERP, API, direct entry on the portal, business portal दिया हुआ है for the people having large turnover. But I think most of it are using it through GSP. जो major लोग हैं either GSP है या फिर direct entry on the portal है, and the third people are using this offline tool, Excel tool download करके उसका फिर आप JSON file बनाते हैं, JSON file जाके upload करते हैं. Yes, it is a possible thing, but as Hiral bhai had said कि you cannot amend it. अगर वहां पे कुछ भी amendment हुआ, GSTN number wrong हुआ, कुछ update हुआ, तो it is difficult, to cancel the invoice after 24 hours. In the first 24 hours, you can definitely cancel it, but this is a challenge. So I would recommend people to use ERP, direct access through the accounting software. TallyPrime is one of the leading software who is providing this E-Invoice generation, but it is, let me tell you the fact, it is not the only one. There are other software also who may be generating direct E-Invoice. Okay, so IRP portal, would they store your data? No, they will store only for 24 hours. Okay, it is just a pass-through portal. It is not मतलब आपका database बनाने का portal नहीं है. It is just a pass-through portal, and वो कोई भी invoice का information नहीं रखता है. Later stages, I have a picture which it will show that how the movement of invoice or the internal movement of the information that is being exchanged with the vendor and the government and the within the government different departments, how that moves. Okay. So technology for E-Invoice, let me brief you on that. So supplier है, आपके supplier या आपने आपके customer को invoice दिया, it will go on the IRP, invoice registration portal, does the due duplication check, friends, returns the digitally signed QR code information, सीधा आपको दे देता है. Okay, sends the authenticated payload within 24 hours. जो भी authenticated payload system है within the GST portal जो working है, from IRP portal to the GST system, from where the information, the other information, e-way bill and e-way bill is generated, and the GST system will store the invoice registry. It takes about 48 hours. After that, okay, now the GST system has the unique number. Okay, वो आपको आपके GST, if you have generated, it will show in your GSTR1, and it will also show in GSTR2A and 2B of the buyer. Okay, just after 2 days, 48 hours के बाद में ये दिखा देता है. So buyer can use the QR code to verify the invoices जो print किया था initially PDF में ऐसा, and also use the ITC which is reflected in 2A and 2B. Okay, so this is how the entire system is working. Okay, for this, why the technology is key. Okay, why technology is key? One is effortless generation hona chahiye. Second is faster generation, because there are customers who are generating hundreds of invoices in a day. If that bulk upload is not available, then it's a big problem. Quick generation of e-invoices. Currently, government has given enough space or the server spaces to ensure that not thousands, not lakhs, but crores of invoices can be generated in few seconds. Okay, so they are helping for working of generating of e-invoice as well as e-way bill too. Quick and easy, smart validations for ensuring compliance. Okay, so ये basic requirement है, technology help करता है इन सबको करने के लिए, and we will see how this particular working appears. So just a brief role of GSP in invoice, because internally this is a technology. Tally India Private Limited is also a GSP, so it does all these things to ensure that your e-invoice is generated on the main criteria of availability, scalability, and reliability. Okay, because these are the things which are the customer is requiring or the client is requiring. All the information which you are sending it to the GST portal, one is it should immediately go, it should go together, and the written information should also come back to you in a safest possible manner. So availability, scalability, and reliability is the key of any GSP, whichever you choose. ये आपका criteria होना चाहिए for working in this e-invoice era. So as we saw that the penalties are high, as we saw that the system requires a lot of technological upgrade. So this is very much required integrated system to be on top of your compliance. Friends, I have seen people generating e-way bill manually and then फिर टैली में जाके इनवॉइस बनाते हैं. टैली ERP 9 में बना रहे थे, and while it is a way wherein you can generate JSON file also and upload it, but definitely it is not the best way. आपके पास टाइम है, आप ये मल्टीपल एक ही काम को 2 बार कर सकते हैं, but I would suggest please do not do that. Okay. So what does a client need? Simple and powerful integrated system to generate e-invoice without disrupting the business process. Now that line is powerful because this entire working is being done to ensure that the businesses succeed. Why? I will show you at a later stage if time permits a case study. Okay. And ये सब करने के लिए अगर बिजनेस प्रोसेस डिस्टर्ब हो जाएगा, अगर आदमी को 2 रिसोर्सेज एक्स्ट्रा लगाने पड़ेंगे या ज्यादा उसके ऊपर मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी, तो देन द एंटायर सिस्टम विल बी फेल्ड. ओके, सो इंटरनली दिस हैज टू बी सिंपल एंड पावरफुल सिस्टम. ओके, लेट मी टेक यू थ्रू द टैली प्राइम नाउ. अभी थियोरी थोड़ा बहुत हो गया. लेट मी सी इफ देयर इज अ क्वेश्चन. Jagdish Bhai says delivery memo can be issued and one e-invoice covering multiple D-invoice. Delivery memo for e-way bill, yes, allowed. And one e-invoice for multiple is also allowed probably. Okay, this is as per my knowledge. Maybe one can take a second view by connecting with the GST consultant. Okay, so right now I will take you to the Tally, and friends, I was told that Tally is not there on the cloud. Tally is just a standalone accounting software. So today what I am going to showcase you is the Tally AWS cloud. Okay, I am not going to give you any brief more information on that, but आपका जो आज मैं प्रैक्टिकली e-invoice जनरेट करके दूंगा, एंड आई विल शो यू द वर्किंग ऑफ द पोर्टल, Tally AWS portal, from how a customer who might be having a shop at Gulalwadi, a factory at Vapi, and a what we say godown at Bhiwandi, all of the three can use the same Tally. by using it on Tally AWS. Okay, so ये एक नया Tally का working है. So let me show you how that working goes. Okay. So virtual computer, I've logged in. I will give my login ID and password. Connect now. This is a AWS machine. Here I will start the Tally. Mute somebody. Yep. E-Invoice company I will load. Okay. So I will immediately show you how an e-invoice is generated. Let me just create one invoice and see how this particular working is done. F8 sales invoice. Okay. I will put the details of dispatch documents. And other details in case I wish to. Okay. The e-invoicing company is from Bangalore, so that's why जब Mumbai party को sale किया है, so they have charged I-invoice. I will give you the details. I will show you what that entirely is. So provide e-invoice details. Enter. Okay. So here we need to provide the details. Okay. Sorry, it is. The moment you save the invoice, this question comes. Do you want to generate an e-invoice? You may say yes, you may say no. And in this question, I say yes. It will give you the login ID and password. It will ask for the login ID and password. Sandbox XX. Sandbox at the rate 9. E-invoice generated successfully. That's it. User need not do anything. अभी आपके सामने invoice बनाया, okay, page up किया, and I will show you the information. How fast was that? ये invoice 22nd August 2022 को generate हुआ है. This is the QR code. ओके सॉरी इट वाज नॉट कर्नाटका, इट इज मध्य प्रदेश कंपनी. ओके मध्य प्रदेश से बॉम्बे में सेल हुआ है एंड इट कंटेन्स ऑल द रेलेवेंट इंपॉर्टेंट डिटेल्स. आपको एज एन यूजर जस्ट हैव टू डू दिस थिंग और कुछ भी नहीं करना है. नो नीड टू जनरेट जेसॉन फाइल, फिर ई इनवॉइस पोर्टल पे जाके अपलोड करो, कुछ भी नहीं है. जस्ट थिंक ऑफ दैट हाउ स्मार्ट, हाउ सिंपल इट इज टू जनरेट एन ई इनवॉइस फ्रॉम टैली. ओके लेट मी टेक यू टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट. क्या आप उसको और क्या क्या करना है. बेसिकली आई विल जस्ट दिस इनवॉइस क्रिएशन आई विल शो यू, बट उसके पहले क्या करना है. वन थिंग इज आई हैव ऑलरेडी इन्फॉर्म दैट आपको आईआरपी पोर्टल पे जाके रजिस्ट्रेशन करना है. ओके सो दैट इज अ बेसिक रजिस्ट्रेशन. आपका जीएसटीएन डिटेल्स डाल के आपका ऑथराइज नंबर होगा, उसको ओटीपी आएगा, उसको कंफर्म करना है एंड टैली इंडिया प्राइवेट लिमिटेड सिलेक्ट करना है. दैट्स इट. बट अभी टैली में क्या करना है, टैली में जब आप F11 करेंगे एंड इन GST details, what you have to ensure is that is E-Invoice applicable? Yes. ये एक क्वेश्चन का आंसर करना है. ये क्वेश्चन का आंसर किया तो कौन से डेट से एप्लीकेबल है. इन फ्यू ऑफ द केसेस इट इज फ्रॉम 1st October. बिल फ्रॉम प्लेस, this is the place from will you are because this company is from Madhya Pradesh, so I have provided place as Indore, and default period for E-Invoice report maybe 3 days 7 days. Now this is required because initially when 500 crore company के लिए E-Invoice applicable किया था, so government had said कि within 3 days of invoice generation you need to generate the E-Invoice. Okay, so while e-way bill is compulsory, the moment your goods leave your premises, E-Invoice can be generated up to 3 days. But I don't know what the government is going to do next. It might say E-Invoice is compulsory along with the goods. It might say कि yes, after 7 days also E-Invoice can be generated. Currently, as the system is new, as what I understand, what I have observed is that the government is allowing around 10-15 days also, maybe more, maybe less, but currently I have seen few of my customers that for last 10 days also, if they have not generated E-Invoice, they are able to generate. I don't know what right or what wrong it would be, because you cannot generate it for the previous month because आपका GSTR1 reflect करेगा, and फिर बाद में आप कैसे generate करेंगे, how you would reflect it, show it to your the tax official, that's a different scenario. But as such, the law said initially that the default period for E-Invoice should be 3 days. Within 3 days, you should be generating the E-Invoice. So आपको टैली में खाली ये enable करना है और कुछ भी नहीं है. That's it, nothing more than this, and that's it. And then you can start using your E-Invoice working. Okay. So friends, is it simple? Is it tough? क्या क्वेश्चन है इसके लिए? Let me just take a minute's break and ask few questions right now. Once again, what we did. Okay, the moment we generated the invoice, save हुआ तभी पूछा whether you want to generate E-Invoice. You said yes, and E-Invoice is generated within few fraction seconds. Okay. Yes.
Just do it again. Just do it again. एक बार वापस एक बार दिखा दो इसको. बराबर है?
Okay. I will generate one more invoice. Okay. एक बार फिर से बताता हूं कि करना, एक बार F11 में अपडेट कर दिया ना आपने, एक बार F11 में अपडेट करने के बाद में आपको नॉर्मल इनवॉइस जनरेट करना है. ओके, नॉर्मल इनवॉइस के अलावा और कुछ भी नहीं है तो आलोक भाई, बट फिर भी मैं फिर से एक बार जनरेट करता हूं प्रैक्टिकली. लैपटॉप सेल कर रहा हूं एंड इसमें मैं, बिकॉज ये CGST SGST है, विद इन MP है, So now I am generating, yes. See, GST compliance proper होना चाहिए. मैं आपको बताऊंगा do's and don'ts में आगे. Okay. एक सेकेंड. या एक्सेप्ट. राइट. सो नाउ जैसे ही सेव होएगा ये क्वेश्चन आएगा. द वाउचर इज सेव. डू यू वांट टू जनरेट ई इनवॉइस? गिव यस और नो. सो मोमेंट यू से यस, यस करो. हाँ, अब मिस्टेक आया. मिस्टेक क्या आया? मैंडेटरी इंफॉर्मेशन फॉर ई इनवॉइस इज नॉट स्पेसिफाइड और इनवैलिड. ओके, सो अभी ये यूजर्स होने वाला है. इनवॉइस तो सेव हो गया, तो जाना कहां पे? ये गो टू करके जो टैली प्राइम में नया है उसमें ऑप्शन है ई इनवॉइस रिपोर्ट का. ओके, यू जस्ट गो हियर एंड सी दैट व्हाट इज इट. सो इसमें 4-5 ऑप्शंस दिए हुए हैं. इंफॉर्मेशन रिक्वायर्ड फॉर ई इनवॉइस नॉट प्रोवाइडेड. ओके, ये एमपी पार्टी का GSTN इज नॉट वैलिड. ओके, ये मुझे करेक्ट देना पड़ेगा, तब जाके मेरा जनरेट होएगा. फ्रेंड्स, एक बात समझ लीजिए कि टैली में देयर इज न्यू ऑप्शन विच हैज कम. दिस मास्टर फील्ड सबने देखा होगा, बट इसमें ये एक राइट साइड में बटन है, गेट GSTN UIN इन्फो. ये किसने देखा है? ओके, व्हाट इज दिस? एनीबडी? गेट GSTN UIN इन्फो, ये क्या है? इसका मतलब क्या है? यस, वेद प्रकाश जी, आई एग्री विथ यू. ये गेट GSTN UIN इन्फो क्या है? फ्रेंड्स, दिस इज द प्लेस वेयर अगर आपने इधर GSTN डाला है, ओके, कस्टमर का GSTN डाला है, लेट मी फाइंड वन GSTN. ये एमपी पार्टी का एक डेमो उस पर देखने दो कि कोई डमी ई इनवॉइस GSTN नंबर मिलता है. सो व्हाट आई वाज सेइंग इज दैट गेट GSTN UIN इन्फो, इट इज द वे इन विच वी कैन वैलिडेट. ओके, validation. Yes, Jignesh bhai, you are correct. Verify GSTN with the portal. Okay, this is the place where you can validate your GSTN number. So TallyPrime comes with 2 new functionalities which many of us may not be aware. One is validation of the GSTN number and another is validation of the HSN code. I will show you that part also. Okay, here for this the prime requirement is that आपका ई-वे बिल पे रजिस्टर्ड होना चाहिए. ओके, देन ओनली यू कैन गेट द डिटेल्स. ये ट्रायल पोर्टल से मैंने अभी कनेक्ट किया है, सो आई विल नॉट बी एबल टू क्लिक ऑन दिस, बट दिस इज रिक्वायर्ड व्हेनेवर वी आर कनेक्टिंग विद द ई-वे बिल पोर्टल. ये आपका बटन एक्टिवेट हो जाएगा एंड देन यू कैन पुट अप द आईडी एंड पासवर्ड एंड यू कैन वैलिडेट द GSTN. Of course, Jagdish bhai says whether e-invoice and tax invoice can be generated for convenience. Yeah, what we did in the earlier case, जो हमने एक earlier invoice generate किया है, let me show you. IRN generated. Now this is my tax invoice and the e-invoice both. हाँ, tax invoice का number जो है वो ये रहेगा and e-invoice का जो number है, जो IRN portal number है, वो आपका ये है 64 डिजिट. ओके, ये आपका हैश, इसको एनक्रिप्ट कर दिया है, हैश ऑफ योर GSTN नंबर, इनवॉइस नंबर, ईयर एंड अदर थिंग्स. Hiral says, shall user ID and password to be generated? No. To be put in every time? No. it can be put up for about 4 to 8 hours अगर आपका tally का instance बंद नहीं हुआ है तो okay, what we have seen is that once in the morning update कर लिया है तो it need not ask for each instance. So portal पे user ID password डालने की जरूरत नहीं है. Okay, so I have asked for my team to provide the basic एक किसी का MP party का GSTN number मिल जाए. Okay, let me check on that. Buyer bill to place should be between 3 to 100 characters. At the end of the session, I will show you that what are the aspects. So again, after saving, it will ask, do you want to generate E-Invoice? Mandatory information still not updated. Right. So here, if you see MP party pending for ये आ गया. So what if we find that हमने हम सारा update कर लिया. Now I can go to this exchange, send for E-Invoicing and bulk upload कर सकता हूं मैं. Okay, या एक एक करके कर सकता हूं. I've selected space bar and अभी मैं एक ही generate करता हूं. Okay, click on send for INN generation, for INN cancellation. Yes, E-Invoice generated. That's it, friends. If you see the invoice which IRN generated, now MP party का भी आ गया, ये रहा. Okay, so there might be possible that कुछ errors है, but the system has been made in such an intuitive manner. अभी मैं ट्रायल कर रहा हूं और मेरे को ट्रायल करते करते भी कोई कंसाइन नहीं भूल गया या कोई भी अपडेट हो गया तो सिस्टम जस्ट थ्रोज यू देयर ओनली so that you are able to correct the mistake. Okay, if you see initially I had put the wrong place of supply, MP लिखा था, but it was not supposed. Minimum 3 characters चाहिए. I will give you the list of those simple validation. Minimum 3 and less than 100. So now you see all these invoices have been generated. Okay. Right. So Hiral bhai, if you saw that we've not modified, not put the user ID and passwords for the second time. In the first time only we were able to, we were asked for it. Okay. अब ये सब होता है तो मेन क्वेश्चन आता है, हाउ शुड आई कैंसिल? ओके, हाउ शुड आई कैंसिल माय ई इनवॉइस? सो फॉर कैंसिलिंग, बिकॉज मिस्टेक तो हो सकता है, मैंने जनरेट किया, मिस्टेक तो हो सकता है, तो मिस्टेक करते वक्त कैंसिल कैसे करूं मैं? सो फॉर कैंसिलिंग एनी ई इनवॉइस, अल्ट जी, go to E-Invoice report. Okay, and this is the IRN generated from the system. What should I do for cancellation? I should select this invoice I have generated on 22nd of August 22. अगर ये मेरे को कैंसिल करना है, सिलेक्ट करने के बाद में कैंसिल IRN. This information I should be selecting it. Reason for cancellation: data entry mistake, order cancelled, cancelled others. You can put others, or you can put whatever it is, or you can give your own reason. Okay, so if you give others, no, that's it. ये कैंसिल करने के लिए इंफॉर्मेशन आपने अपलोड कर दिया. ओके, एंड बाय फॉर IRN cancellation, okay, here again I have to once this information is done, okay, pending for IRN cancellation, I have to go to this button called Alt Z Exchange. Okay, Alt Z Exchange, and send for E-Invoicing. I will select this invoice I want to cancel. Spacebar किया, click on button send. For IRN generation, for IRN cancellation 1. Okay, do you want to continue? Yes. E-invoice is cancelled. That's it. Okay, and once this is done, IRN cancelled from E-invoice, I have to come here and I have to cancel the transaction. Okay, which is very much important. अगर आपने transaction cancel नहीं किया तो upload नहीं होगा. Okay, so let me cancel this transaction. That's it. So this is the entire cancellation methodology. Now the floor is open for the question. Let me ask few questions and also have my cup of tea. What are the questions that one has in mind? I will come back to the presentation once again. We have seen E-Invoice report. We have seen generation of E-Invoice. We have seen cancellation of E-Invoice. What other things would you like to see? So, Suresh Warkar sir. Narayan Warkar sir says how to cancel for invoice for works contracts. That means your work contract might be of service. So that's why you want to ask. It's the same manner. Okay, generate e-invoice for work contracts is the same manner as we are generating for the goods. The same way in which we can select for services as well. Nitin bhai asking that before cancelling invoice, can we cancel the transaction first? No, Nitin bhai, it would be dangerous. First cancel it on the portal and then cancel it on the in Tally. Just by cancelling in Tally won't cancel it on the portal. Portal पे आपकी information जा चुकी है. So first you have to cancel it on the portal, because as Hiral bhai had pointed out that e-invoice can be cancelled only within 24 hours. First 24 घंटे में अगर आपका So cancellation means whether the sale invoice itself is cancelled or is it cancelled only for the e-invoice purpose. Okay, what about trailed of cancelled status? Let me take you to one more report of Tally. Go to IRN. रिपोर्ट, ये वो रिपोर्ट है जो आपको पूरा इंफॉर्मेशन दे रहा है. ओके, IRN रिपोर्ट इज दिस IRN रजिस्टर. सी, ये आपको पूरा डिटेल अपडेट कर रहा है. Here the cancelled transaction is there. If you see, cancelled transaction का IRN नंबर भी है. IRN cancelled from E-Invoice system, E-Invoice status भी आ गया, एंड उसका 64 डिजिट नंबर वो नंबर के साथ में है. Now, can you generate this 224 invoice again? Yes या no? Please inform in the chat. अगर ये 225 मैंने एक बार जनरेट कर दिया है, can I generate it once again? Can I just go in the transaction and वापिस से डिटेल्स अपडेट करूं? Bhama says no, Jyoti says no, Nitin says no. Overwhelming no. I get it. Yes, you cannot generate the same number. एक बार एक नंबर किसी को अलॉट कर दिया कोई इनवॉइस को, तो वापिस से वही इनवॉइस नंबर आप दूसरे ट्रांजैक्शन को नहीं अलॉट कर सकते. आप लाइव टैली में कभी कभार कुछ कर लेते हैं ऐसा, इनवॉइस कैंसिल करके उसी को रिप्लेस कर देते हैं, इसमें नहीं चलेगा. ओके, आयरन में एक बार इंफॉर्मेशन शेयर कर दिया है, सो वो शेयर कर दिया है. ओके, सो ये आपका ये आएगा. यू नो व्हाट द ब्यूटी ऑफ दिस रिपोर्ट, ये एक आयरन रजिस्टर है, एंड सपोज ये मैंने 22 अगस्त को 9,55,800 का इनवॉइस जनरेट किया. फॉर सम रीजन मेरा अकाउंटेंट बहुत केयरलेस है, थोड़ा केयरलेस है, ज्यादा नहीं है, थोड़ा केयरलेस है, एंड उसने आके इधर 15 नंबर बोला, नहीं 15 नंबर नहीं, एक पीस रिजेक्ट कर दिया, और मैंने 14 नंबर का ही इनवॉइस जनरेट किया. ओके, सो अकाउंटेंट ने उसी दिन 14 नंबर का इनवॉइस जनरेट किया. तब क्या हुआ? So now if you see, voucher information mismatch with QR code modified, ये दो स्टेटस आपको आ गए, और ये दो स्टेटस आपको खाली यहां पे मिलेंगे, IRN register. You will get it only in this IRN register. You won't get it anywhere else. If you see voucher information mismatch with QR code. Okay. सो ये इंफॉर्मेशन आपको खाली यहां पे मिलेंगे और कहीं नहीं मिलेंगे. ओके, लेट मी टेक यू थ्रू टू द प्रेजेंटेशन वंस अगेन, बिकॉज नाउ वी हैव spent considerable time on Tally. Let me take you to the presentation once again. What we did, what we do. So as we saw that your invoice is generated from TallyPrime to the GSP. ये पूरा information automatic within hardly 1 or 2 seconds में हो जाता है. Okay, effortless generation is what I love to call it. Flexibility to send individual or bulk invoices to IRP. You can मतलब हमने एक बार भेजा, and if you see in the next slide, what we did was I went to that E-Invoice report and F5 exchange किया. Okay, and from exchange I can select multiple invoices together and upload the same on the invoice portal. Okay, so the same way where I found that individual invoices, multiple invoices भी immediately respond करके आ जाएगा. We can have both E-Invoice and E-Bill together. As I had mentioned, it saves cost using a accounting software. Why? Because E-Bill का भी इंफॉर्मेशन साथ में जनरेट हो गया. ओके, टैली में एक F12 में जैसे ऑप्शन दिया हुआ है, डू आई नीड टू हैव सेपरेट, कैन आई जनरेट सेपरेट E-Invoice एंड E-Bill, तो उसमें यस करेंगे तो सेपरेट जनरेट होगा, एंड नो करेंगे तो दोनों साथ में जनरेट हो सकता है. ओके, इमरजेंसी में क्या करना? सो आई विल टेक यू टू टैली वंस अगेन. जो आपका पोर्टल है एक्सचेंज इंफॉर्मेशन में, यहां पे जाके सेंड फॉर E-Invoice, एंड यू विल फाइंड दैट मल्टीपल ट्रांजैक्शन जो भी आपने जनरेट किया वो लिस्ट इधर होगी. तो स्पेस बार करके यहाँ पे एक ऑप्शन है ऑफलाइन एक्सपोर्ट, क्लिक ऑन दैट ऑफलाइन एक्सपोर्ट, जेसॉन जनरेट हो जाएगा. व्हाई दिस इमरजेंसी? बिकॉज देयर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी के इंटरनेट नहीं है अवेलेबल. ओके, देयर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी के कुछ प्रॉब्लम है. सो यू कैन जनरेट ऑफलाइन एक्सपोर्ट बिल, ये जेसॉन फाइल जनरेट कर सकते हैं और वो जेसॉन फाइल ई इनवॉइस पोर्टल पे जाके अपलोड कर सकते हैं. नॉट अ वेरी बिग थिंग, फ्यू ऑफ माय कस्टमर्स डिड दैट. लेट नाइट में करना था, टैली इंटरनेट बंद हो गया एंड दे डिड दिस. टैली तो चल रहा था, इंटरनेट बंद गया, so they did this, and from some other machine they went to the GST portal and uploaded it. So it's also a beautiful system that government has provided, that emergency mein aap your work will not stop. Product walkthrough, we have gone through that. E-invoice, status of each invoice, IRN register, this we have gone through. Generate IRN for pending invoices, this also we got through. Okay, update IRN from invoices generated from other software. There is a possibility दूसरे सॉफ्टवेयर से e-invoice generate कर लिया है आपने, और some other person like in the e-commerce space, some other person is generating e-invoice for us. So वो possibility में भी आप IRN generate कर सकते हैं. You can just provide Tally के अंदर और गवर्नमेंट पोर्टल में आपका Tally India Private Limited सिलेक्ट कीजिए एंड अपडेट IRN करके बटन है यहाँ पे ऑन द e-invoice report. Get IRN info. Okay, so once you click on this, it will ask for the invoice. Do you want this IRN number from the portal? Once you say yes, all the information invoice के वो सब इसमें आ जाएगा, टैली में आ जाएगा. No need to manually update it. Manually भी अपडेट कर सकते हैं. Okay. This we have already seen. Identify e-invoices which were modified. IRN cancellation due to duplicate. ये सारे information हमने देख लिया. How to cancel. Invoices rejected. In fact, practically करते वक्त हमारा एक invoice reject भी हुआ. Okay. So there also we saw that update. You can delete the IRN information which is stored in the invoice and refresh करके update कर सकते हैं. As seen by all of us, we are in complete control of the e-invoicing process. Okay. Alerts also there in terms of accidental modification, deletion. So उसका भी हमने alerts देख लिया वो IRN register में where there is accidental modification. Okay. So उसके इसमें भी Tally helps a lot. Never get fearful data exchange करते वक्त. This is a very robust system. It can help you to overcome small errors also in a very simple and concise manner. So friends, what is the benefit to the business? Most of us said yes, it is helpful for generating profit. But let me give my perspective. It resolves and plugs major gap for GSP. 1 second, there is an urgent call. Hello. Huh? I'm sorry. Allows interpolability, help reduce data entry errors, real-time tracking of invoices, faster availability of genuine input tax credit, auto population of GST returns में immediately आ जाता है within 2 days. So standardization, increase reduce. Actually, this was a study done in Germany that एक जब हम लोग ने e-invoice upload किया है and when the invoice is traveling through the digital mode, ओके आपका पीडीएफ डायरेक्टली कस्टमर के पास जा रहा है एंड देयर इज नो पेपर विच इज इन्वॉल्व. They were able to reduce from 1.5 euro to few cents. Okay, the entire invoicing cost was reduced drastically. So friends, as and when this QR code becomes more robust, I foresee that आपका जो सेल है सामने वाले का परचेज ऑन अ क्लिक ऑफ बटन हो जाएगा, या आपका जो परचेज है सामने वाले ने सेल किया, क्यूआर कोड स्कैन किया और आपके मशीन में आपके टैली में डायरेक्टली अपलोड हो जाएगा. So this is what I foresee in India also happening. हमने सबके बेनिफिट्स की बात की, बिजनेसमैन के, तो गवर्नमेंट को क्या बेनिफिट है? This is a very very big benefit. And friends, fake invoices is the lone reason why government is coming out with such मतलब improper circulars और कितना बेकार आते हैं कि आप अभी अपलोड करो इंफॉर्मेशन, अभी ये करो, अभी वो करो, जस्ट टू एलिमिनेट द फेक इनवॉइसेस. ओके, सो जीएसटीआर 2 रिकंसिलेशन में भी काफी हेल्प होएगा गवर्नमेंट को. ओके, दिस इज व्हाट माय पर्सपेक्टिव इज. ई-वे बिल का डेटा भी अपलोड हो रहा है साथ में, सो इट इज अ विन विन फॉर ऑल. इन शॉर्ट, benefits of e-invoice is MRF, what I love to call menace of fake invoice, reduction in cost of transaction, and the major benefit is this faster payment cycle. I happen to speak to somebody in businesses. There they say यार 4 दिन तक तो वो कंफर्म नहीं करता, इसके लिए हम लोग जनरेट नहीं कर पाते. अभी जब e-invoice कंपलसरी होगा तो e-invoice immediately जनरेट हो जाएगा. So the moment your invoice is generated, you are supposed to get a confirmation, client confirmation दे देगा तुमको, and that would help in uploading the exchanging the invoice and ensuring that the payments are received immediately. Okay, so this would be a definite big help. Fraudless India in future. Yes, Nitin bhai, so fantastic. Jagdish bhai says, can I generate e-invoice? Now, frankly, that was my question also. If it is so necessary, so important, and so helpful, why not government says that let it be a voluntary one? And why not put it, why just put it as a turnover limitation के 10 करोड़ वाले हैं वही generate कर सकते हैं. Okay. Okay. This is high income. A number of economies offering e-invoice. So 33 out of 34 economies, 33 has already adopted. Europe में भी wide adoption. खाली African region में नहीं हुआ है. We can understand use of technology is little lesser. So that is where the challenge is. African region में अभी भी नहीं हुआ है. But if you see on the global level, e-invoice is covering most of the countries. Coming back to TallyPrime, ability to generate e-way bill, e-invoice, intuitive invoice, preview report, MIS report to verify status and perform additional activities. Okay, printing of tax invoice with QR code, also eligible on pre-printed stationery as well. Right. So how can we convert this e-invoice compliance? See, there is a cost. Frankly, for you, what are the costs which is involved? मेरे को एक बार देखने दो, आपके साथ में डिस्कस करने दो. So, friends, what are the costs when we look at this e-invoice compliance? I'm not talking about the penalty cost, but what other costs are there? Can we just discuss on this? कि users को क्या-क्या cost लग रहे हैं? Kinchit Shah says emergency invoice, how to upload and update. I will come on that little later, Kinchit. Okay, we are exporter. Can we make e-invoice? Yes, USD में आप बना सकते हैं, e-invoice में generate कर सकते हैं. उसमें basic currency का एक information ध्यान में रखने का है, and that is where KSAR we can generate it. Okay, अगर e-invoice को करना है तो what are the cost which is there? Can we just put it on the chat? आपके हिसाब से क्या-क्या compliance cost क्या-क्या है? First we discuss on the compliance cost and then we discuss on the profits. Okay, compliance cost क्या-क्या है? in a nutshell. Skilled staff, okay, that is a base, but skilled staff invoicing के लिए भी लगेगा, but yes, I will take that as a compliance cost. What are the other things? Tally package, chartered accountant fees. Devendra bhai, qualified accountant, yes, skilled staff is what Mahesh bhai also says, but tally package, वो तो tally otherwise भी आपको लेना ही है ना. Everyone should be familiar with TallyPrime. Now that is what is required, but उससे बहुत सारे दूसरे फायदे भी है नितिन भाई. What other costs are there? So let me take Tally के अंदर क्या cost है? Okay, one is this Tally का जो implementation cost है. Okay, basic implementation को भी जो Tally partner रहेगा आपको support करेगा उसका basic कुछ cost होगा, but should not be much, but एक basic cost रहेगा. There would be from other software's perspective, they charge per invoice also. I've seen some software charging 50 paisa, 75 paisa. Tally is not charging anything because Tally is a GSP. It is not charging a single dime for your invoice to be uploaded. It is just saying that आपका Tally software subscription valid होना चाहिए. Okay, तो Tally software subscription अगर valid नहीं है तो आप हमारे ऑफिस में हिना खान से coordinate कर सकते हैं. She would help you in uploading it. Okay, so that is one cost which is recurring cost, Tally software subscription. Okay, and other than that, TallyPrime नया लेना है, latest अगर करना है, update करना है, उसके लिए भी आप हिना खान से update कर सकते हैं, but that is one cost that you have to understand. उसके अलावा क्या cost है? Accountants cost, majorly people are saying, I agree with you कि basic information होना चाहिए, because knowledge of Tally software as well as knowledge of bill to ship to कहाँ से हो रहा है, basic accounting working कहाँ पे है, वो होना जरूरी है. Okay, so how might we convert this e-invoice into our profits? Okay, so ये हमने compliance cost का बात कर दिया. अभी profit कहाँ से हो सकता है? Okay, I will not ask you the same thing जो मैंने अभी बताया हुआ, GSTR 2 reconciliation या immediate credit मिल जाएगा या penalty नहीं होगा, उसके अलावा क्या profits मिल सकता है? What are the other profits that a businesses require? वो कहाँ से आ सकता है? Any suggestion in the chat? Profits कहाँ से आ सकता है? हिरल भाई.
Sorry sir, I was on a call.
Oh, okay. So my question is that compliance cost पे हमने काफी डिस्कस किया, but ये जो compliance cost को profitable कैसे करना है या profit कैसे हो सकता है? So other than penalty, other than the GSTR 2 reconciliation, what is the one thing that can help businesses to earn profit out of this e-invoice?
So basically, in my opinion, it would be the bogus invoices, the fraudsters who are there in the business and who are spoiling most of the business culture. They would be eliminated, and that would be the greatest advantage that businesses would be having out of this e-invoice compliance. That is my take on the compliance.
Very true. बोगस वाले निकल जाएंगे तो गवर्नमेंट को भी शांति पड़ेगी कि भाई जो जेन्युइन है उनके लिए जो कंप्लायंस है, वो जो अभी क्या बोल रहा है कि नहीं आपको जीएसटीआर 2B में दिखेगा वो ही लेने का, ये करने का, वो करने का, इतने सारे रिस्ट्रिक्शंस डाल दिए गवर्नमेंट ने कि यूजर को मालूम नहीं करना क्या है. 1 को 11th के पहले फाइल करना है, 3B को 21 के पहले फाइल करना है. सो दीज आर मेजर कंप्लायंसेस, कॉस्ट बहुत जाने वाले हैं और वो सब निकल जाएंगे, ये फेक इनवॉइसेस निकल जाएगा तो होपफुली गवर्नमेंट लेगा. बट वन थिंग इज दैट, एंड द अदर थिंग आल्सो, व्हाट आई आल्सो लाइक वाज दैट नारायण भाई सेज अर्ली पेमेंट फ्रॉम कस्टमर. दिस इज गोइंग टू डेफिनेटली चेंज द गेम. See, friends, India is a developing country. We are yet not developed. Everybody needs funds for business. Business में सेल होता है तब मजा, प्रॉफिट नहीं होता है. खाली सेल होने के बाद में जब पैसा आता है तब प्रॉफिट्स होता है. दैट इज द रियल प्रॉफिट्स. सो दिस इज समथिंग, ई इनवॉइस जैसे ही आपका कंप्लायंस इमीडिएटली हो जाता है, आप कस्टमर को मिल गया डिटेल एंड दे आर आल्सो मेकिंग द पेमेंट एंड उसके वजह से बिजनेस ग्रो कर रहा है एंड ऑल राउंड बिजनेस ग्रो करेगा. सो आई विश आई शुड हैव टेकन अ केस स्टडी, बट right now there are few more slides to cover. I will cover those slides, and after that, if time and other things permit, I will take up. Otherwise, I will just take few more slides which are important. Okay. Jagdish Bhai says one accountant maintaining 10 to 15 accounts. Now he can also generate for 10 to 15 customers also. But yes, e-invoice would be required. So every customer would have to take their own tally. Yes, Jagdish bhai, that is one possible, but उसका मैनुअल काम भी काफी कम हो जाएगा उसकी वजह से. और डुप्लीकेट जो मैनुअल इनवॉइस बनाता था और आप वापस से इनवॉइस जनरेट करते थे, so that would get reduced, right? So coming back to our e-invoice implementation, ensure proper GST compliance, which is very much required. Voucher number should not be empty. अगर आपने देखा स्टार्टिंग में जब मैं e-invoice जनरेट कर रहा था, I was putting in some value. It should be less than 16 characters. Should not have spaces. Should not have first character as 0 से start नहीं होना चाहिए. Okay. Gstn of the e-invoice generating company ये तो मालूम ही है. Login name, mailing name में जो रहेगा वही रहेगा. Okay. Address line, this I had faltered it, blank रखा था. इसके लिए प्रॉब्लम आया तो I had to put at least minimum 3 characters. ये आपके सामने एरर देखा हमने. Okay. There is a full-fledged detailed compliance. I will share my office numbers at the end of the this thing. A detailed document would be available. अगर किसी को भी do's and don'ts का एक detailed document चाहिए, I will be more than happy to share that detailed document. Okay, so please WhatsApp on that particular number के send me detailed document. हमको आपको पूरा provide कर लेंगे. IRN generate for service invoices. Yes, TallyPrime allows. Okay, quantity in the service automatically. This is automatically happening. That their quantity information is sent as 0, and UQC will be sent as OTH. Okay, which in other cases it is sent as जो भी quantity का number होगा या फिर वो details होगा वैसा. How can I ensure that a data entry operators do not upload voucher? ये आप basic security control में tally में option है. Okay, that you can stop the user. जैसे मैंने user generate किया, e-invoice yes करने पर आ गया, I can stop any data entry operator to not to generate e-invoice, and only the senior person can generate it at the bulk. ये tally में default में no customization which would be required. Okay, e-commerce portal में मैंने sale कर दिया है, and from there I am getting IRN details. ये मैंने scenario live tally करते वक्त भी pick up किया था कि you can just get IRN info करके बटन है, उसमें click किया तो you will be able to get the e-commerce information. So friends, you'll never go out of the product for e-invoicing. I have seen companies implementing more than 500 crores. I have seen companies implementing more than 100 crores, 50 crores and 20 crores, and none of them is regretting. None of them is regretting that why they did select Tally. Everybody is happy, and just understand that not only 1,000, not only lakhs, crores of e-invoices generated on the e-invoice portal, and that through Tally. Do not be left out behind. Please ensure that you are using the latest Tally to update your systems. So as I had mentioned it in the initial ESP, TallyPrime is nothing but easy to use, simple to implement, plenty of support available. By saying plenty of support, it is not only MTech, which is my company, but it could be your any other tele partner, and many of the tele partners are able and capable of handling the basic queries. Okay, so without any fear, you can ensure that the system is uploaded and up and running in few moments. These are my credentials. 9833861090 are my number, and this is the number sales 771504711, where you have to WhatsApp and ask for a detailed do's and don'ts document. Our team would be happy to share it with you. Okay. In any case, anyone requiring Tally software subscription or Tally package, they may also contact this particular number and get it uploaded. So Hiral bhai, I have covered my PPT sharing. There are one or two things, but I don't know. First, let me go to the chat. Narayan bhai says, enlighten on e-invoice preparation for reimbursements, pure agent services, and schedule 3 items. Narayan bhai, I think these are all slightly complex in terms of GST implementation also. Pure agent services is there in Tally. Reimbursements is there in Tally. While this is a public forum, we can definitely take up one-to-one and see how you can get these things. Okay. I don't know whether exempted goods and services are required. If you are selling only exempted goods and services are required to be generated. In my view, I think they are not. Okay. So let me check on this also. But otherwise, we can take it one by one because these are all complex GST. Yes, Nitin bhai, thank you for being there and appreciating with the emoji. Wow, I love it. So those who have loved it, I have a small request. Friends, you would appreciate that this is a webinar which is arranged in association with Lions Club. And Lions Club, as I understand, I am also a Lion, and it is there for charity. While this particular program was done free of cost and for all of you to learn and know more about it, can I ask you one small thing? Okay, is that Alok bhai, you're there on the screen?
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm there. Switch on the screen sharing band kar lo.
Okay.
You can see people over there. And I can see many people over
there. Right.
Yeah.
So Alok bhai, my small request is that I want all the users who are here to get connected to us in our charity way, in whatever way they can, or if they can start charity in whichever way, or they can get associated with Lions Club, how they can associate with Lions Club and how they can also contribute towards this particular movement. So my suggestion is that please enlighten and also give an option to all the users as to how they can get connected, please.
No, you can be connected with the Lions. There is nothing to worry about that. As Lions is always good for charity and all. So whatever charity we want to do in form of education also, I am telling you, it is not that medical or donation or something like that. It's a part of education also. So you can be a member of Lion, and whenever your area is there, the Lion clubs are there in all the particular areas. Like Cheyenne is there, Vaikala is there, wherever your nearby area is there, the Lion club is always there. You can call us also. My mobile numbers are there, 9892001645. Or you can search from the Google also the Lions Club, nearby Lions Club. You can join the Lions Clubs and you can give the charity also. As far as the educational part is there, Lions Club of Valkeshwar started this initiative. So if you have any topic to be covered, like say for example today burning issue is there, E-Invoicing, and we suddenly cover this topic because we know that thing is going to be streamlined. Because September is there, people are busy in the tax audit and all accountants are busy. So that is why we have kept this topic much earlier, so that then after the pollution is going to take place, so the relaxed time you can able to learn everything and you can then go for trial also. So Lions Club को join करने के लिए कोई इसमें ये easy बात है. You can contact to nearby your Lions Club of clubs. They will guide you how to join and all. If you want to do a charity also, I'm telling you, 1 rupee of your charity will go to from Lions Club. So अगर आप 1 रुपया भी donate करते हो, 1 रुपये का value 1 से बढ़ के 100 हो जाता है. So it's a lion. We are committed towards the charity, and the charity will go more from education, it's from the medical. We have done lots of projects and all this. So join Lion. Nothing to worry. You can join easily. You can join the Lion, pay the membership fees, and you can be a Lion Club of this thing. So thank you so much, Puneet. Thanks to all of you for being there with us. And now, Devanshi, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Thank you, everyone. Now to request the Secretary of Lions Club Valkeshwar, Mr. Ritesh Porwalji, to give a formal vote of thanks.
Ritesh ji, आपका आवाज नहीं आ रहा है. आपका आवाज नहीं आ रहा है. वॉल्यूम हाई कीजिए।
आवाज आवाज
सर आपका आवाज नहीं आ रहा।
ऑडियो वॉल्यूम शायद आपने साइड से बंद किया होगा, उसको एक बार हाई करके देखिए।
नहीं रितेश जी आवाज नहीं आ रहा आपको। No, no, sir. You are not audible, sir.